You're going to want to watch this. We are taking a journey into the ancient heart of Jordan, where there is spectacle and awe around every corner. We visit one of the 7 wonders of the world, Petra, and walk in the desert footsteps of Lawrence of Arabia in Wadi Rum. Continuing our self-drive adventure of one of the most welcoming countries we've been to, filled with wonder and history, we get to experience the sights of Jordan all to ourselves with the usual thousands of tourists not yet returning. Stick around and find out what it's like to travel with a 7-month-old baby into the desert. This has to be one of our favorite family adventures yet. We are the Newbys, a family of travel adventurers on a mission to make our minutes and seconds matter. I'm Tara, born and raised in Africa and obsessed with wild things and wild places. This is John. He's lived a life on the road and has visited 163 countries. And this is our son Crusoe, who has ambitions to get to 100 countries before he goes to school. He's going to need our help with that, so hit that subscribe button and join us every Sunday as we discover our extraordinary world as a family, teaching us all to be brave, think big, and to explore. Last week's episode ended with us enjoying a drink at the Dead Sea, where I got a little mucky and Crusoe and John danced in the infinity pool at the Hilton. So we pick up our Jordanian adventure heading high into the mountains of Jordan, rising up from the lowest place on earth. A steep, winding, spectacular climb through some dramatic landscapes. At times we felt like we were on another planet, standing at the top, looking down on all of the universe. On our way to Petra, we've just done the climb up through the mountains from the Dead Sea, and the views are mind-blowing. This country is astonishing.
Just arrived at Petra. It's 1,050 meters above sea level, which means we're approximately 1,400 meters above where we were this morning. We've climbed that high.
It was amazing. All the bottles in the car were like popping and fizzing. My lip balm has just exploded everywhere.
What a beautiful, beautiful drive though. I loved it.
Mega. It was amazing. And Crusoe was just so good.
He was,
well
yeah.
Done, you.
One of the fun things was driving a car instead of driving a van.
We do miss the van, don't get us wrong.
We do.
John, I could definitely get rally driver vibes from John as he nipped around the corner.
Zoom. Hi. Off we go, my darling. Well, this is all very new. The first time I came here, you just walked up to a scruffy old box and wandered in, paid your bucks, and that was it. This looks lovely.
But you didn't pay as many bucks as we're going to pay today as well.
For sure not.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Here, I think.
How much is it?
110.
110 dinar.
110 dinar.
2 days.
55 dinar.
And Crusoe is for free.
Yes.
Yay.
All right.
This is where the adventure begins. Right here.
Do I have to start singing? Do, do, do. Poor Crusoe's got his hat over his face.
You can't see anything. The walk into Petra has to be one of the most beautiful in the world. Through a deep canyon where suspense and awe build around every corner, the light shining down and playing with the colours on the sandstone walls, only adding to the sense of wonder. What can you see, my darling? What can you see?
I have quite literally just been moved to tears. This place, it gave me goosebumps from head to toe.
Wow, wow, wow. What an amazing experience. Just to walk down, I mean, Indiana Jones rode a horse down this exact little canyon here. I mean, I say little, it's massive.
so tall. What a, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. One of the wonders of the world.
Yeah. We basically have Petra to ourselves.
I know, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Fantastic timing and a great idea before the world opens up, and it will be very soon, to come to a place like this. How are you feeling, darling? Are you ready for the monumental walk up that hill?
It's quite a build-up to this walk, because every single person you've walked past for the last hour has told you it's a really long walk and tried to get you on a donkey or a camel.
Right behind us still, yeah.
I don't know if I'm just being sold to, or if it really is a very monumental walk.
Well, it's a fairly long walk for sure, and it's all uphill. But the good news is, darling,
All downhill on the way back?
that's the badger.
Our plan today was to walk up to the monastery, which is near the top of the Petra complex. Like with the walk into Petra, you can take a donkey or a camel to the top, and it is quite a hike, so perhaps worth considering. John, Crusoe and I decided to walk, and on our way up met some of the donkeys on their way back down. They know the way all on their own and are as sure-footed as mountain goats on the seemingly never-ending stairs that have been carved into the rock. The views as we climbed higher were incredible, and with the place almost to ourselves, it was well worth the extra effort it took to get up there on our own 2 feet.
That's a climb, but we are nearly there. How are you feeling, my darling?
Honestly,
Yeah,
finished.
finished.
I am done. That is hard.
It's hard.
And it's hot.
It is hot. Crusoe seems to be pretty fresh, to be honest.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
He's got his own private donkey, hasn't even had to pay for it.
that's true. So just around the corner is the monastery, which is amazing. Huge piece of artwork cut into the cliff face. I think possibly the most impressive building in Petra.
There are no definitive answers on how old Petra is, but pottery found at the site has been dated to about 150 BCE, making this remarkable place over 2,000 years old. A major trading city along the spice route, Petra was carved into the rocks by the Nabateans, who we'll hear more about later in Wadi Rum. And it remains one of the most impressive and awe-inspiring archaeological sites in the world.
So it's for this exact reason that we came to Petra. We are literally, except for the few guides and donkey owners over there, Cara and I are literally the only people up here right now. So your first time in Petra?
Brought me to tears.
Did it?
It really did. When I walked around and saw that temple, I was truly awestruck. It took me a long time to compose myself. It's just epic.
Yeah.
I've never been anywhere like that. Truly remarkable. And like you said today, we walked solidly for 4 hours.
We did.
And we've hardly scratched the surface.
Yeah.
So another big day tomorrow, I think.
Sleep well tonight.
We will. I'm staying in a really lovely Airbnb in Little Petra, in a guy's home called Atala. So yeah, looking forward to enjoying some Jordanian hospitality and calling it a day. We'll see you tomorrow. Good morning.
Pretty cool morning with those hot air balloons.
Yeah, mental.
Love it.
What is the grenade about?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, second day in Petra.
So this is a secret back entrance to Petra. We went in the main entrance yesterday where the visitor centre is. And this is a completely different direction into the main part of Petra. So we're hoping that we not necessarily won't have to walk as far, but we're hoping that we'll be able to get to see different parts of Petra today without walking 100 miles to see them. Expecting though to get to the same place that we were at yesterday, but at the end of the day instead of at the beginning. So the walk in the back way isn't the most inspiring walk.
No, it's basically a really steep downhill tar road, which when you compare it to the incredible canyon that you walked through yesterday,
There is a highlight along the way, and it is a half-ruined tomb. I don't think too many people get to see that one.
It's got the longest inscription in the language of this area. I think it's called Neapolitan or something. The longest inscription in Petra on the wall of that tomb. It's also dated to 40 to 70 AD. It's quite cool.
So pretty special, and it's one of the very few tombs that you can walk into and have a look inside, because most of them around here are all closed. Never used to be like that.
It's just home to someone's goats by the looks of things at the moment.
A couple of plastic bags.
And a few plastic bags, which is a shame, but really cool to be able to go inside. So we're just looking down onto the colonnade, which is the main street through Petra, and there is no one down there. There is just guides.
And camels and donkeys.
Okay, I can see 3 tourists. Correction, 3 tourists and us.
Where are they?
There, by that car.
Oh yeah, 3 tourists, wow.
I mean, you basically need your binoculars to find them.
So around the back of the tombs that we've just been and had a look at is a pathway. I wouldn't call it a secret pathway, but I don't think very many people take this particular route. And with a little bit of luck, after about half an hour of walking up, we're going to get to the, what is it?
Viewpoint over the Treasury.
The viewpoint over the Treasury. Thank you, my darling.
You're welcome.
Basically the top of the world.
I just see more steps. This is quite an incredible climb, actually. Up the side of the mountain, some very cool stairs.
It is.
We're hoping we've got to the top.
No, I think, well, we're not there, are we? I think
No.
we might be
Close
at the
enough,
highest
huh?
point. I think we're going to end up walking across the top of those temples that we just walked past.
Nice, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Come on,
Indiana
Crusoe.
Jones, boys.
Top of the world. Wow, that's a great view.
That is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, as you walk along this trail, bit by bit, slowly but surely, you start to hear the guides and the brays of the donkeys down below. And the busiest part of Petra, of course, is the Treasury area. So I'm pretty sure we're getting very close now.
Yeah. You can see the top of it.
That's such a great shot. Well, that was a terrific view, it really was. Definitely worth the walk up here, but at the end it was a little bit of a buy the drink or you can't see the view, and there's something that I don't like about that. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth. I don't know, on the one hand, all right, I get it. On the other hand, it's just in my personality not to be forced to do something that I hadn't expected to do. It's almost the point of principle.
Anyway, smart dude, he was very pleasant, gave us a couple of tips. We're going to head back down and go and find something to eat because I still haven't had breakfast.
No, we haven't, and we must have walked 40,000 steps already this morning.
Surely.
Just as we're walking down the stairs now, we've almost got to the bottom. The total walk time, I think, to get to the viewpoint and back down is about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We spent 5 minutes drinking a Coca-Cola up there. It was totally enough. And what I would say about it is up there was the busiest place we've been to in terms of tourists in the whole site.
Which is interesting because when we set off, we were like, oh, we think we're going on a secret path.
No, that's the busiest place, and it's because everybody sort of congregates straight down a funnel and gets to that one point.
And it's a very small space at the end.
It is. So we can imagine actually when it's busier, you might find yourself walking up there having to queue for your 2 JDs drink.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you're not coming back, right?
No.
So go do it.
So we have decided to come out of the canyon way, which means our car is a really long way away. We're hoping we're going to be able to get a taxi from this side to that side. And there's a museum out the top here that we want to go and have a look at. So I think we've done the right thing. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
This jewellery is estimated to be from the 5th or 6th century BC, which makes that pair of earrings 2,500 years old. We got a taxi.
We got
My
a taxi.
feet are so happy.
So it's costing 10 JDs from the main entrance back to the car.
Exit gate.
I think well worth every penny of that.
Yes.
What's up next?
We're going to Wadi Rum.
Tomorrow we are driving a couple of hours down to Wadi Rum to see some desert.
Cannot wait. Well, that's it from Petra. We are now on our way to Wadi Rum, and we've just stopped to have a look at that view. As the sun comes up and starts lighting the mountains of Petra up on this highway, it is truly incredible. Man, I'm going to miss this place, but I'm super excited to get into the desert, so let's get going. It's like we're on top of the world this morning, my love.
Yeah, isn't it? The clouds are way below where we are. I think when we came up, we said we'd climb 1,400 meters up from the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea, of course, being, what was it, 300 and...
Minus 430.
Minus 430. So we're about 1,400 meters higher than the Dead Sea here. And down below, you can see the clouds. Beautiful.
It's amazing. It almost looks like we're looking out over the ocean, but we're not. It's the desert with sort of a haze of cloud over it.
Haze of cloud and sand.
Beautiful. God, it's just so beautiful up here. And now,
desert time.
Yeah,
now we're going to Wadi Rum. We haven't booked any accommodation. We're just winging it today. We're going to turn up at the Wadi Rum village. We don't want to stay in the village. We want to stay actually in the desert. But based on our experience here at Petra, I think it's better we just turn up and have a look around and see what's there rather than booking in advance. So we've just arrived in Wadi Rum. We're at the visitor centre right now. Just in front of me are a bunch of guys that I think are going to want to sell us some accommodation and maybe some jeep rides into the Wadi, into the Rum. I'm not sure yet. Hopefully the gamble has paid off for not booking in advance, but we'll see very shortly.
This is the point where I disappear because I get awkward and John comes into his own. He haggles.
Gonna go and bargain a hotel. Let's see how it goes.
Get us a good one.
Okay, that was fairly straightforward. It's 5 JDs to get into Wadi Rum. Then I think it's going to be 80 JDs for a day in a 4x4 zooming around, having a look at all the cool stuff. And he's saying it's 25 JDs per person per night to stay in one of the camps. That price, that 25 JDs though, it does include breakfast and lunch and dinner. So let's have a look.
You will visit, you will do like jeep tour.
Yeah.
Spring.
Yeah, you will visit Lawrence Spring,
Zali
Kazali Canyon, Sand Dunes, Little Arch, Lawrence House. And also if you like to walk, you will visit Canyon. I drop you here and you go walking, I drive to the other side and I meet you on another side.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you will visit through Thruck Bridge.
Okay.
And you see the sunset in the white desert and red desert.
Yeah.
After I take you to the camp, you will have like dinner and breakfast.
Cool.
And in the morning, I drive you back to your car.
Okay.
All right, we're back in the car after having talked to and organised a few bits and pieces with a local, I don't know whether he's a guide, I think he's probably just a facilitator, an organiser, you know the kind of people. Anyway, he's helping us out. We're going to follow him now. Then we're going to have a look at some photographs of the camp and then we're going to get in a Jeep and head out into Wadi Rum. It's going to be pretty cool. We've taken a 5-hour trip, which is going to cost 67 JDs. The nice thing about it all is the prices are on the wall. The price is the price and it doesn't change. And Crusoe, today you are no longer Indiana Jones, you are...
Lawrence of Arabia.
Yes!
Keep your hat on. So we're going to park the car up here and leave it here for the night. Head out into the desert. We're really conscious, obviously, that we've got Crusoe. So we're going to take his car seat. We're going to take a couple of shades for him, and just take it as it comes. If he starts feeling like he's a bit uncomfortable, then of course we'll call it a day. But he's generally pretty chilled, so we'll just see how we go. What's happening, my boy?
Truly Lawrence, little Lawrence.
You look so cool, my boy.
That's awesome.
Hello.
You feeling ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Should we go and see Lawrence of Arabia's spring, Crusoe? He's like, hang on a minute. I've spied a camel.
First stop on our tour of Wadi Rum is a spring that helped a lot of people, and there are some inscriptions on the wall that we're looking at right now. Tara will tell you a bit more about that just now.
This area was where Lawrence of Arabia used to pass, and so this spring was important.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because Lawrence of Arabia is a legit dude, right?
Yeah, of course he is, yeah.
They were here in ancient times because water obviously is really difficult to find. So they were pointing to everybody to let them know that there was water here in coming out of that spring. And you can see the spring just because of the little green tree popping out the side of the hill. It's quite obvious.
Yeah, and it runs 24 hours all the time. Constant,
really cool.
Constant water there.
So they've piped it these days into a trough which is just near where our jeep's parked so that the camels have got somewhere to drink. But there's also a small Bedouin village nearby which it's obviously supplying water to as well. This place is just unbelievably beautiful. I just turned around and looked at what we're looking at. I mean,
So next stop is the sand dunes.
Sand dunes.
Sand dunes. Now, the biggest sand dunes in the world are in Namibia, correct?
They are, yeah.
We'll be going there in about 5 weeks' time, which is super exciting. But apparently, these are the second most impressive sand dunes that John's ever seen, correct?
I think so, yeah. They are pretty cool.
We just had some Bedouin tea in that little tent, and it was absolutely delicious. I really wanted to get some. It was made of sage and cardamom, and they also had some blocks of frankincense, which they were just burning on the coals, which was also lovely. The thing about the life that we live, though, is you buy tea like that and you take it home and it'll sit in the cupboard for months, and by the time we have a chance to drink it, it'll be stale and not kind of as lovely as it was. So next time, in another lifetime.
Well, I think that's an absolute wrap for the sand dunes. Let's go back to the truck and get some drinks of water, shall we, Crusoe?
Good idea. I think it's a great idea. Leave the sand here, I say. Come on then.
All right, next up is a walk through a canyon. Now, I've got no idea what to expect, except the rocks that we're looking at are pretty tall.
Looks like it's melting.
Inside this canyon, we're going to see some Arabic inscriptions and some Bedouin inscriptions.
Cool.
Something like that. Anyway, two different kinds of inscriptions. It'll be interesting to see if we can tell the difference between the two.
Indeed. Yeah. Check it out.
The inscriptions are actually by the Arabic Bedouins and the Nabateans, who were the same people who built Petra. Wadi Rum has been a rest stop for travellers from all the ages. Here in this canyon, people travelling on their pilgrimage to Mecca would stop for shelter and rest, and whilst there, they carved inscriptions and prayers.
So next up on the agenda are the arches.
Now, also, it's time to try and put Crusoe to sleep.
Uh-oh.
This might be a bit tricky.
This might be a bit tricky.
He's going to miss the arches.
If he goes to sleep. So the sleep went really well. So we just topped up with sun cream and let's go climb over this arch.
Yeah, let's do that. Crusoe, you'll have to sleep later. Come on then, let's go.
Wow-wee. The views in this place are insane.
So where's next? The arch, the big arch. Let's go see a big arch.
Cool.
How's the boy?
Snoring.
Is he?
Fast asleep,
That's great.
isn't it?
Yeah. I think now we go and see some arches.
Cool.
A
Happy.
bigger arch.
Let's go see a bigger arch.
Everybody likes a big arch.
Everybody loves a big arch.
And so, with Crusoe finally asleep, we headed for our last stop on our Wadi Rum adventure, a huge arch that John watched me walk over, and it's best to ask him why he didn't want to have a go. As the shadows got longer and the golden light started to set in, I scrambled down the side of the rocks and we hopped back into the truck, bouncing along the sand as we watched it turn golden with the evening sun. Our final destination today was our camp, which we hadn't seen yet, and the promise of a golden sunset, the likes of which only a desert can offer.
So, we're staying.
We're staying. About 50 quid a night, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 50 quid a night, dinner, bed and breakfast for both of us. Which is maybe on the steep side, ever so slightly. But like I was saying to John on the way here, we've come at a time when there's been no business here for a really long time. So I'm okay to pay slightly over the odds, just this once.
Even if we are getting a little bit, you know, like overinflated price. I don't know. But anyway, we've had a look around. We like the look of it. Pleased we didn't book online. Pleased we booked here.
Yeah.
You know, we got a great guide for the price that we paid as well.
We did. And we can watch sunset from camp, which actually is perfect for us with Crusoe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's spotlessly clean, super comfortable.
Yeah.
Has everything we need.
Great location.
Great location. And, you know, supporting some local people who've had a really hard time recently. Yeah. So I'm okay.
I think there are going to be only 6 people, including us, sleeping here tonight.
Wow. Gosh. There you go.
So this is our last thing that we're going to do in South Jordan, isn't it? We'll be heading up to Amman tomorrow, probably.
Yeah.
Have a look around Amman, and then it'll be back to the van and back to Budapest. Now, go and watch that badger in the sky go down behind those big badgers, those big mountains.
This looks like it's going to be pretty epic.
Whatever you feel as the world begins to emerge from the pandemic, and whatever your views may be on how we move forward, one thing will always remain true. Travel enriches us in a way that is hard to quantify. It teaches us about new places, different people, wilderness beyond measure, and about the value of minutes and seconds and making them matter. As soon as you feel ready, we hope that you'll get back out there, savouring those moments perhaps a little more, and holding the memories that little bit closer. One thing's for certain, we're not stopping, because who knows what there is to discover around the next corner. It's all waiting, and we're excited to take you along for the journey.
Say goodbye to Wadi Rum and start making our way back towards Budapest and back to the van.
Yeah, we couldn't have been more grateful for stumbling across those £22 return flights from Budapest. Fantastic.
And we hope we've inspired you to maybe think about doing the trip of a lifetime yourself, somewhere you've been thinking about going. Keep an eye out, see what's out there. It's a lot easier than people think it is at the moment. and the international travel industry is dying to have you back.
Absolutely. And you never know, you might get lucky like we were in Petra and find that you have the place to yourself.
It's something you will never forget. If you've enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and leave us a comment because we love hearing from you.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next week.
Tune in on Sunday. We're in
Croatia.
See you then.